What's up, everybody? Welcome to the KindaFunny podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer/seducer, Nick Scarpino.
There's just not a situation you can't use the smoke machines for.
I think there are.
We haven't found them yet.
Maybe like a funeral.
No,
I mean, I will give it all to you on good authority right now that when any of you die, we will use the smoke machine.
Greg Miller's going to put the fun in
the
funeral.
announcement video. Sure. The announcement video. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, obviously your families will get to break the news. They can have the exclusive. You know what I mean? They can tweet.
Yeah.
God forbid Gia let me tweet it, but Tim's dead. I got to let Gia tweet it first. But the KindaFunny video will be, ladies and gentlemen, perhaps you've heard the news. This weekend, there was a tragic fishing accident.
Fishing.
Yeah, swordfish
That's
jumped right
the way
out.
any of us are going to go fishing?
Tim got dragged out for somebody's bachelor party, some wedding party bullshit Gia had set up.
fish.
You know what I mean?
Night
Had to go
kayaking.
do this night kayaking with the bioluminescence. And then what happens, of course, swordfish, whoop, right out of the water, right through his heart.
If I died via swordfish,
Please
I
send-
wouldn't even be mad. Like, that's the type of death you're like, that is, there's the warrior's death. That
Yeah.
is a
it's
gamer's
Valhalla.
death.
Yeah.
It is dying from, if it is anything like a large thing falling from the sky, quicksand, anything of that variety, that sort,
Frozen
sure.
poop
But if
from
you
an
die
airplane.
as
Sure.
via
Dave
swordfish
Matthews, man.
like a sword, come on, bro.
It's an interesting way to go. Definitely not the way I thought Andy would go.
Well, this is
know.
Tim specifically.
No, I'm just thinking when Andy's going to die. I'm just thinking about how he's going to go.
What's your prediction? What do you got?
It's sad, whatever it is.
See, I agree it's sad and it's, depressing. And so I think what it'll be, it'll
be sad anyway.
Not for me.
Oh.
I mean, it could be fun. Like, you could, have
My-
lived along and healthy
yeah,
life.
like for you, sad and depressing no matter what. When Nick dies, I think we all have to have that pact that it's going to be an Andy Kaufman situation where we give you the little hints and nods, like maybe he's not dead. You know what I mean?
I didn't know.
You need to start doing a character like Tony Clifton that we can play like Cobbs and stuff, like when you're not around.
You want me to do a character where I just pretend to be a person and annoy the shit out of everyone in the office?
Yeah.
Okay, I can figure that
cool.
one out.
Okay.
I think I can work
Here we
it out.
go.
Yeah.
We could fake your death.
I could, but if you guys were going to do that, first off, that'd be awesome. Let's start playing this now. Second off, I love the idea of, and I think we've talked about this before, but if I die, I love the idea of no one ever really knowing if I'm dead or not. And I think the only way to do that,
I just talked about.
yeah, exactly. I'm just riffing.
Okay, cool.
I love
But you
the
made
idea.
it sound like it's an old thing from another podcast when it just happened like 3
No,
seconds.
because I'm about to say something we've said 4 times before, but the chat's stupid. They don't fucking know.
No, they're the problem.
They're the problem. They're not going to
Got
understand.
it.
I'm going to bring up an old movie we talked about before. I want you to Weekend at Bernie's me. I want you to keep my body alive and in cryogenic freeze once a month. Just walk around town with me.
I don't know if
Two of
you
you.
caught it, because of course I slept for a good amount of the stream, the 24 hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when I woke up at one point right before, I guess when they woke me up, and then it was right time to do the mics and eat a bunch of pancakes or whatever, or eggs.
Eggs.
Eggs! Thank you. And I walked out there. Janet's boyfriend, Isaiah, was on the couch doing a perfect Weekend at Bernie's impression. Did you see this? Because he was on the couch in front of the big TV we have out there like this, but he had sunglasses on. And so when I walked along the peripheral and just out cold.
He's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
And he was hanging out, and he was so polite the entire time. And I'm like, how dare you?
Yeah, no.
You know, we're
You
all,
want to find a way to talk shit.
I mean, I can't. He was so lovely. And he was like helping out with stuff too and like
Yeah.
hanging out. What a cool guy. The rest of you guys, oof.
Jackals.
Just fucking hyenas.
Speaking of jackals, he's the Hispanic heartthrob.
I think here's
I'm so sorry, Andy.
Can I be
Like-
honest? I think when Andy dies, it's gonna be one of those situations where, like, you know how Golden Gate Park has a lot of small holes in them, like small holes in them.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Like you,
Oh, you gotta look when you go through Golden Gate Park.
Oh yeah, like
Gophers?
holes.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
They're
I think-
smaller than they're like weevils or something though, because
Weevils.
Porty once saw one. He was not feeling
What
it.
the fuck is a weevil?
It's a
Kevin
Pokemon.
Barrett, I need a weevil photo.
What I'll say is, I feel like Andy's gonna like get his foot stuck in one of them,
Sure.
and then just sit down, and that's how.
And that's how he
he's gonna
dies?
go. Yeah,
Just
that's how
kind of
he's
give
gonna
up, you mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Death by gopher hole to Andy Cortez.
that's way less cool than a swordfish.
It's less cool, but also likelier. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, because I don't think that's how you're gonna go, Andy. But like,
Right, so I was wrong about a weevil.
That is an insect, Greg.
There you got gophers, you got groundhogs. There's
Yeah.
definitely a smaller thing, chat. You know what I mean?
is a groundhog just like a
Fucking
like a
beetle
porker?
pops up.
A groundhog?
He's just like a porky little gopher,
Yeah,
right?
he looks like a big gopher. They look like this big.
You know,
What's the genus? What's the family? What's
Well,
the...
yeah, because like
Rodent,
guinea
probably?
pigs and hamsters always
a weasel.
were weird to
Weasel.
me,
That
right?
wasn't what I was
Whoa,
going for either,
dude.
though.
I've never seen one look like that.
Man,
That was
you ever
a-
just swing and miss on a podcast where you're like, it's a weevil.
That's
You
a
don't know
good-
what challenges.
That's a
and then
good looking weasel.
Today, what did I say, Kevin?
Incontinent or
I
something,
said, I
right?
said that the king from Game of Thrones was incontinent. And Kevin's like, I don't think that's what you meant. And I was like, yeah. He goes, he cannot control his shitting. I was like, you know what? I mean,
Anyways, he's the Hispanic heartthrob Texas treat. Latino heat. Clicking heads and ripping them to shreds. The globe trotting, head shotting, rootin' tootin', nitro rifle from twitch.tv. Andy Cortez.
Before the show
goal?
started, Greg was just sitting here alone.
Feeling it.
Sure. And I walked up and he goes, good day to have your wireless mics on. And he just made a face and did the laugh.
And there was like the terror in Andy's eyes of what is he about to
I
sit
didn't
down
know
for?
what that meant.
What is this podcast
And I
gonna
still
be?
don't know what it meant.
And on top of that, right after that happened, I walk in and there's only one coaster down. And Greg just looks at Andy, continuing to have that look in his eyes of like, at any moment, it could all end for Andy in a way that's much more violent than a gopher hole.
You gonna bring another drink over here? It's like, what does this mean?
the thing is, Andy, what you got to get in earlier because when you come in midday, the energy is already against
Yeah.
you, right?
Yeah, we've
You're
been
right.
here, we've been doing it.
You're right.
And we've already been. We went to lunch. We had a whole thing that we did. We talked.
I missed out on a bunch of. I missed out on a half a days of inside jokes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And half a day in this place is as an eternity.
Uh huh.
For
Because
sure.
because before that, I heard the party mode reference laugh that Kevin did. If y'all haven't watched this episode of Party Mode, it's like one of the first ones we did, and I heard Kevin from the control room go, ha, ha, and then I went dun 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 dun, ha, ha, and then Greg just decided to. Greg was just like, whatever reference I would have made there.
For the record, I was already wailing on the peanuts. Right? I was already talking shit about how much the peanuts fucking suck.
Yeah,
all right?
you went in because here's what happened. Somebody sang the peanut bomb ba dum ba da dum.
I think it was Greg.
It was you.
I think Greg
It was him.
himself was the one singing.
That's not a
And
bad
then you started
song.
talking so much shit.
And I said, Greg, doesn't that song just kind of fill you with joy? Like, doesn't that make you think nostalgically about our youth and just happiness? And Greg said, sure, the peanuts fucking suck,
Pretty much.
is what you said. And then
Yeah.
you just dunked on them for a solid
And then
5
Andy brought up
minutes.
the gorillas, and I'm sorry they had to get dunked on too. You know what I mean?
Well, it's just I just sang them. I didn't bring them up or ask anybody's opinions. I just sang that song, and Greg goes, "You want to make fucking cartoons and make a song? Get the fuck out of here!" And I did it, and it was just like such an unnecessary.
Maybe you didn't know this. They never showed their faces for a long time. They just acted like they were fucking cartoon characters. One fucking genie or whatever was singing in the one thing. I got sunshine. And not that guy, but the breakdown guy. You know what I mean? Finally,
Del.
someone let me. That guy. Remember him?
That was
Yeah.
a funky Homo sapien from Oakland.
And I got to listen to this all the time.
All the time.
What's this man?
How many times have I brought up Del the funky Homo
What's this,
sapien?
what's this man's name? Oh, that's Friar Tuck Homo sapien. All right.
You acted like you heard us waxing poetic for an hour about the gorillas, and then you went, man, fuck that, stupid ass cartoons. You just decided to rail against it for no reason.
You gotta nip them in the bud sometimes, all right? Because that would be a conversation that would continue on and on and on throughout the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't need
yeah.
to. I don't need to get a Slack tonight about the fucking gorillas. You guys sat here until 6:30 watching videos about them.
So a lot went down musically in the last hour or so, right?
Sure, yeah.
Because yes, all this happened where we had the gorillas, we had this whole moment of just trying to like figure out what Greg's problem is with the peanuts. They have a great theme song. I agree, they're not the best thing to watch sometimes, but you know, Greg can be Greg.
Sure.
Well,
We're
then
here.
cool Greg had to pop in and was like, yeah, I like the cartoons, but the comic books suck.
Yeah, man, it's hard.
And then
there
Greg
for-
agreed, even though he's never read a comic book.
Comic strip. All right. First off, they're not making comic books about the peanuts.
Oh, well, Cool
Charlie
Greg said
Brown
comic
and Lucy
books.
aren't having actual adventures. They're moving a football. And we're
It's
these
3
deadbeat
panes.
peanuts. All right.
3 panels.
It's 7 p.m. Where are your kids at?
Nick and I were watching some like intros of things for some inspiration for some projects we're working on, and the music had a certain vibe to it. So Nick takes that vibe and just starts riffing. I heard where your head went. You took me on a musical journey just from the
Sure.
songs you were walking around the studio singing. He's just kind of like humming these different melodies, and it results in about 10 songs in. We walk in here, and Nick goes, do, 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 and then Greg like adds on to it, and we all kind of feel like we're in on it. But then Greg kept going in a direction where we were like, I don't think it goes there.
So there is confusion because Nick is very much referencing a show that used to be on PBS or whatever. Don't worry about that for right now. We'll get to that in 1 second. There is an oldies song that does that. It's a horn section. Dun 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 dun.
We shift up in key.
I was listening to Dazed and Confused. I have a soundtrack or playlist, and I've Inagata Davida stuck in my head, so I'm hooked. I can't push it a little bit further. It's driving me crazy because I
Is that not the
I
Flintstones?
fucking nailed that.
No, it's not the Flintstones.
I didn't. I just like here's what.
But then-
here's what Andy isn't brain thought. I'm gonna go in here, play something way off for a laugh, and be like, I was close, and I just nailed it.
Nailed it.
yeah.
You're too good. I've said
That
that.
was
Then, your point,
crazy.
then
Often
after
said that.
I went over and over again, like, no, it's an oldies song. I can hear it. I can hear the horns. You were like, no, it's like a nature show. And I was like, oh, I remember this. I used to be on the PBS.
Yeah.
My barber would always have it on.
I don't
That really
know which
soft-spoken
one.
man would talk about nature.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
See,
But-
I'm going full Western. Like I'm convinced.
What does that mean, though? You think it's like Little House?
Kind of like that, yeah.
that vibe. But yeah,
Prairie.
like a show that I wouldn't watch on Nick at Night.
Right.
Or like
Sure.
it wasn't even on Nick at Night. It was like on Disney's nighttime shit where all of a sudden
Yeah.
everything's black and white and like you're either watching Zorro and you're like this is dope or you're watching anything else.
I
But
picture
that era.
like they got a jib shot. Not really. It's not a jib, but like imagine back in the 60s or 50s they have a jib,
Establishing shot.
and we're seeing like roaming countryside, Western Front, canyons, horses,
Yes.
cows.
Potentially.
Hold on, there's some interesting here. Do you like good music from the Blues Brothers? I think that might be it, actually. The one
The
I'm
Blues
thinking
Brothers?
of.
Oh, that
Yeah. Do
was-
you like good music?
But that's not
Was somebody just
Yeah.
asking
Is
a
it?
question?
Yeah. Huh?
Was somebody just asking a question?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that is it. Maybe. Oh, damn, I'm James Brown.
no, they're thinking the
The
Blues
Dynamite
Brothers, which is
podcast.
like
I didn't even get down to
they're
this.
thinking
Like,
the
what
main
is
songs
this
from the
shit?
Blues Brothers.
No, they're the one. Good music plays in the Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
can't
But
play
I
it
feel
too
like
loudly
they might
'cause-
be confusing that with the main song from the Blues Brothers, which is like what they used to come out to all the time.
Well, sure, yeah. But that doesn't have that to it.
But it's got a horn section as well.
It does have a horn section.
A
yeah.
great
Blues
horn
Brothers
section.
have a lot of horns.
Someone
Yeah.
said Bonanza, and that's what I'm thinking.
That's
it's
a good
that
word.
type
It
of
might be
vibe,
Bonanza.
man.
It might be Bonanza.
That sounds like that might be pretty on.
Can I look up the
Maybe.
Bonanza theme right now while we look at weasels?
And I keep thinking of the word Ponderosa, and I don't know why.
That's a restaurant.
Because, a Ponderosa is like we're out on the Ponderosa, which was like a Western term. They used to always be out on the. Where's Tim?
Told you. Arthur Conley, do you like good music or sweet soul music? Arthur Conley.
Damn.
That is not
was right
what
there.
I'm thinking about.
That's
at
not what
all.
I'm thinking of either.
But you see where I was.
Yeah.
And why I was right, and it's from
Absolutely.
Oldies
Josh Woodbury
104.3.
says it's the Magnificent Seven theme. Maybe.
Of
Look
course,
that up.
this man is Forbes 30 under 30, a.k.a. the second best baby blues in San Francisco, a.k.a. the verified one at Tim Geddes.
I gotta look into this. Like, I hope that it's it. That sounds like it could. I don't know
Great
what the
job,
Magnificent
Chad, on
Seven
that. Do you like
is.
good music? We got there, Andy. Whew, that was going to kill me, you know?
Eventually we got there. What else did I miss today?
Oh, Kevin, they ordered too much crab rangoon and one spam wasubi too much. So then Nick said, do you want this spam wasubi to me? I was like, nah. And then he's like, do you want a
Yes.
crab rangoon? I was like, yes. And I came over and got it.
Yep.
And then there it is. Yeah.
That's it.
Is it like
What
the
is that?
Disney
Is that
thing?
Magnificent
It's
Seven?
Magnificent Seven, which is a bunch of
So we're all
cowboy
there.
motherfuckers.
We're all right there, ladies
Fuck
and gentlemen.
yeah,
We got it
Eric
done.
Miller
We got
in the
it.
chat.
So
Y'all
just
the
to close
best.
the loop, and then I'll intro the show, all right? And then, Andy, I had the crab rangoon, and it was really good. And I was like, that was great, thank you. And Nick's like, please have the same spam wasubi. And then Kevin looked at me and he goes, half of it. And then I didn't eat it, but I came by like an hour later, and there's half a spam wasubi there. So you know he was all about it.
Hell yeah.
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Kinda Funny podcast. Each and every week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table, each coming to hang out with each other and talk about whatever it is they want to talk about. If you want to hang out with us, the easiest way is patreon.com/kindafunny. You could be a trog and be in the live chat right now, like Madeline Stanley, Eric Miller, The Lou, all are. Of course, on patreon.com/kindafunny, you can get each and every episode early. You can get each and every episode live as we record them. You can get them ad-free. You can get 38 bonus episodes of content a month. You can get the cool spare bedroom t-shirt. As the month is winding down, you're running out of time for that. You can get the fan mail tier, which is the poster of all of us on the spare bedroom. If you're a producer producer, you can get it signed. There's a whole bunch of stuff, and then executive producer, that's where you get the shirt. I digress. You can write into the show to be part of it for free. And let me tell you, we got some doozies this week. KindaFunny.com/KF podcast. A special hello to Bone Jangles, who's in the chat for the first time. I saw that in the pre-show. A whole bunch of people have been supporting us this month on Patreon and joining the live recordings for the first time, and that means a lot to us. Thank you so much. Of course, if you don't want to be on Patreon, no big deal. You can get each and every episode of the Kinda Funny podcast on youtube.com/KindaFunny podcast services around the globe each and every week. Of course, you'd get the ads.
Can you do that
You
one
want to
more
get all the bonus
time?
shows. Each and every week. Nailed it. Crushed it. I like that.
Around to the globe is what.
Well,
I
that's a different show. I'm gonna do that.
You just did that.
No, I don't do that. I don't do that. That's the game thing. I don't do that during the, that's the game thing. I don't do it here. You know what I mean? It's
Could
weird
have
to
sworn
say
you
that.
just did it.
Remember, if you're a video game fan and you like the game thing Andy's talking about that we don't do on this show, you should use the Epic creator code KindaFunny whenever you're buying something on the Epic store, or when you're playing an Epic game that has the store, like, you know, Rocket League or Rumbleverse or whatever, on your PlayStation, Xbox, or Switch. Some housekeeping for you, ladies and gentlemen. There are a million things up right now on youtube.com/KindaFunny, which, by the way, has more than 300,000 YouTube subs. Yay! We did it!
Finally.
Almost 8 years later.
Feels good. Feels good. 300.
Just 10 more years to 310.
You can go up right now. You can get Black Adam in review. You can get the Game of Thrones screencast. You can get She-Hulk in review, and you can get the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania screencast reacts. Yeah, Tim.
I just want to cut you off real quick. Let as many people as possible know we are having problems with the in review Apple Podcast feed. So if you're not getting anything for the updates, the She-Hulk or Black Adam should both be there. Search for Kinda Funny in review, unsubscribe and resubscribe to your feed, and then everything should be good. It's really annoying. I'm sorry about that, but spread the word.
We blame Andy for that, we said earlier, right? Like the
Explicitly.
Gremlins. Yeah. You don't get that reference, you gotta watch.
You got to be in the studio.
No, that was on content. That's
no
on
shit.
Ant-Man. That's
Oh,
on Ant-Man.
gotcha.
Yeah, we made fun of you.
How did that look, by the way? Because, like, I got to tell you, it's really, really annoying for everybody to keep on asking me if we're going to react to fucking Ant-Man. I'm here playing a video game. You're going to react to Ant-Man? Ant-Man? This movie's going to suck, right?
Man, it must suck having fans, huh?
Fucking ever.
Thank you to our Patreon producers who are a fan, and we're always excited to hear them ask if we're going to do stuff they like. David Hazenga, Nathan Lamoth, Delaney Twining, Gordon McGuire, James Davis, a.k.a. @JamesDavisMakes, and Fargo Brady. Today we're brought to you by Policy Genius and the official The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power podcast. But I'll tell you about that later. For now, let's play America's favorite game show. A game of Would You Eat This?
What? I forgot how it goes. Would you? No, hold on.
Bless him.
1 second.
I mean, I only gave him 5-minute notice, but still.
Would you? Would you fucking eat this?
I hated you trying to match the key there going,
It's also just a
Pixelated,
little too soft, so you can barely hear it.
Pixelated Soul wrote in to kindafunny.com/KF podcast and said, hey KF, long time, first time. Not really a question, but just something you should all be aware of. Please look at this Twitter account. I'd really like your reactions. And he linked us to the twitter.com regional US food.
okay.
Twitter.com regional US
Okay.
food. The description reads, photos of regional dishes from around the US curated by Bro MF3. And I'm a big fan of Bro MF3, whose name I've never seen until right now.
Would you
And so
fucking
I've
eat
gone
this?
through and picked 10 that I feel escalate.
like
Escalate
this,
in
man.
terms.
Good job.
And we would say, hey, would you eat this?
Yeah, that's fun.
So now, to test the waters, to ease in the shallowest end of the pool, we go
Dip a toe.
to Regional Food, who links
toe.
us to this tweet. Kevin, throw it up there. This is a Daniel Miller tweet from the Indiana State Fair.
Yeah, I'd eat this.
Indiana State Fair is just a few weeks away, and here's one of the food items you'll be able to try. What do you think of the pickle pizza offered by Swain's Concessions? It's homemade dough with dill ranch sauce topped with mozzarella cheese, dill seasoning, and dill pickles. Now,
a lot
Nick,
of
you
dill.
might be the only person who actually asked to answer the question. Because, of course, infamously, Toronto,
Yeah.
CNE made the mistake of sending me, Andy, and Tim up there to their, I don't even, world's
waste
biggest
of money
fair or
on their
whatever it was.
part.
And there we had dill pickle pizza. I liked it so much that I came back and said, Square Pie guys, you got to make this. They listened to me, and it was one of their least successful pizzas of
Yeah.
all time.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I don't think you see it on a menu and go, I'm going to default to that.
Yeah.
But if it's in front of you, you see someone else eating it, you might go, that's a weird thing that I want to try.
It's the right type of weird.
Yeah.
It's something you only try when I think you are at a world
county
state,
fair.
a
got
state
something to
fair, a
prove.
country fair. Yeah.
Now, what I would like, if you can throw it back up for me, Cap. Madeline Stanley in the
That shit
live
looks
chat
too wet, by the way.
says it's too liquidy.
No.
For the record,
It's fine.
the ones we had in Tirana, not this liquidy. So this is very much.
It's glistening.
This is the thing from Indiana, and obviously it's the fat, it's the oil, it's the
It
the
looks like
cheese.
someone
the
poured a
cheese.
fucking water on it.
I don't like that.
But my question is, what kind of sauce is in there again?
It's ranch, right? Homemade dough with dill ranch
dill
sauce.
ranch.
God, that is gonna be strong. You're
It's
gonna
so
get through
good, though,
half
Nick.
that,
It's so good.
and you're gonna get a tummy ache right there. But I would.
Your breath's gonna
First off,
smell
if you're
so
eating
bad.
at the Indiana State Fair, you are walking away with a tummy ache.
You think so?
Yeah, because you're getting that, and then afterwards it's fried Oreos.
Yeah.
And then it's
Something
Bud
on
Light.
a stick.
or what we had in Canada, which was one of the more controversial things, Nick, was the snickle.
Yeah.
It was a pickle with a Snickers inside of it.
That's disgusting.
And that was deep fried.
That's
They
so
just
deep
love
fried.
pickles,
fucking
man.
gross,
Yeah.
man.
The problem is,
That's
here's
really
the thing,
gross.
and I'm a proud member of Team Fat.
me
I'm from
too.
the Midwest.
Yeah.
I understand the obsession with deep frying everything. Once you deep fry things like an Oreo, a pickle, or with a Snickers shoved up its ass, it just becomes this
Fry.
dough. Yeah, you don't even taste it anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where you lose it all.
And that's so sad because in theory it should be like I love fried things. I
Yeah.
love this thing.
This should
Fry this
escalate
thing.
it.
It should escalate, but it doesn't.
Now this one's the next one on number 2 I'm interested in because I'm aware of this. I've never had it, and I don't see why anyone would say no. And we're all pro pickle pizza, right? That's where we left off on this.
Yeah, I am.
I had it. I thought it was fine, but
So
nothing.
you would eat it because you ate it.
Oh yeah,
It's-
100%.
I mean, it's definitely one of those things where I feel like I'm gonna order
fucking ate it.
a pickle pizza. I would be like, that's great. Please make sure there's at least 5 pepperoni pizzas surrounding it at all times.
Did I'm probably told this story again, but it's one of my favorite.
Go for
All
it.
right, it's one of my favorite.
These kids
So,
don't watch everything.
It's me, it's Jen, it's Lucy James. We're living together. No Ben in sight. Portillo's still alive.
That was a
the
fun
golden
era in your life where it was like the Friends era.
And it was, you know what? Let's order square pie, guys, tonight. And
Yeah.
it was like, let's go wild. Let's get the pickle pizza and the buffalo chicken pizza and a thing of wings.
Oof.
'Cause we're there to live. We're there to live. We
Okay.
ordered this. Fantastic.
Not for very long.
DoorDash comes, right? We get it. We come in. We open it up. And we didn't get the right order. We got somebody else's order.
The worst.
But we're not hard to please. So it's like, okay, great. It's a pepperoni pizza. It was like a cheese pizza, and it was like something. It was none of the things we ordered. We're like, no big deal. Great. No harm, no foul. And then it dawned on me, and I was just laughing hysterically into my pizza. And like, what are you laughing at? I'm like, think about the people on the other end
the
who
ones
got
that
our
have the
food,
wrong order.
who
Yeah.
just wanted a pepperoni pizza and a cheese pizza.
Is that
And
what
they-
you got?
Yeah.
You got
and they
some-
opened it
oh,
up.
no.
And they're like, we got
No.
wings. Did you order wings? No, they're too spicy. I don't eat wings. Oh, no problem. We got a wing pizza. Why would they order a wing pizza and wings?
The next box is just a
This
chicken.
next one must be adorable.
The next one is a pickle pizza. You're like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, no, because I think it starts off very positive with them going, oh shit, they accidentally threw wings in here. This is great.
Yeah.
And then it just
But then if you don't like spice, you know what I
plummets.
mean? That's how it goes.
plummets downhill.
Yeah.
I
But
love
also, when you
spice.
want a pepperoni pizza, there's
want
just no
pep.
substance.
You just want pep.
You want the
You just want
pepperoni diplomacy act.
I'll tell you a weird thing that happened with me over the
don't
weekend.
you start with me.
Okay.
Let's start.
I wanted pizza.
Yeah.
And I decided to order from a place somewhat nearby. A little bit of a hike, but
Sure.
you know, I could use it, right?
Oh, you're walking it.
Yeah, I'm walking it.
Nice.
Well, I ordered on my phone though. Order on my phone.
Why'd you use a keyboard emote then?
Something's not
makes
adding
you
up.
fun?
I'm
I
ordering on my phone.
I dock my phone anytime I want to text. So I bust out my phone. I'm looking at my space bar is kind of jammed, so I gotta kind of like hit it extra hard. I order the pizza, and they let me know when it's gonna be available. So I go take my little jaunt over there, and I walk up, and the place is kind of under construction, right? Totally fine, no problem, right? And the ladies, I woke up and was like, hey, order for Andy? And she was like, oh, yeah, he's on his way. What do you mean he's on his way? What does that mean? And I looked and like, it's not functional in there. This lady's just at the door in a non-functioning pizza place. She's like, oh, he's coming. He's on his way. He'll be
So
here
the
soon.
key is
So
the
he's
pizza
making
maker.
the pizza somewhere else.
I guess so.
It's like that ghost stuff.
And so a car just kind of like pulls up, and I was like, "Is that?" And she like walks up to the car. She's like, "Thanks." And she's like, "Here you go." And I didn't want to, like, I wanted to ask so many questions because I was like, "Well, where am I ordering this pizza from then?"
Well, here's my question. Yeah, my immediate
Oh
thing
my
is
God,
like,
that's
is
so
it?
weird.
And I know you didn't say the name, so I assume that's on purpose. Is it?
But I don't remember the name, to be honest with you. I don't remember it. I can Google it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. How did you? You're like, I want to try a new pizza place, and you just like.
Well, I see it a
Shot in
lot
the dark.
whenever I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go for my longer hike right here, my longer urban hike.
Sure.
I see it a lot, and I would always see families in there watching the sports game.
Sure.
There's always a sports game on.
Is it Cybelle? You got a Cybelle? Is it
What's that?
based in San Francisco? There's a bunch
Oh no,
of Cybelles.
that sounds cool. That's a cool
There's
word.
one couple blocks from here.
I don't like it. I don't like it. It's
Really?
much further than a couple blocks. Yeah, I don't like it. I've never liked it.
Oh God, we're doing this again. We're doing this again. It's down. Oh, it's just down the street. So anyway, I see it often, and I decided like
Google it. I
tonight's
know
the
what it is
night.
now. I wanna
Tonight's
know.
the night. Let me Google.
I imagine
Fiorella?
this happened.
No, it's not Fiorella. I like Fiorella.
Yeah, you've been there.
I imagine, Andy, that when the guy got out of the his car, he opened up the trunk to get the pizza, and it's like just an array of hats, like Pizza Hut, Domino's,
Yeah.
Round Table, and he's like, "Which one am I tonight?" Puts on the Cybelle pizza hat and delivers it to you.
Was the pizza good at the end of the day?
It was okay. Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
This is always what trips me
but
out
it was
about
just
having things
it's
delivered.
like you shouldn't. I don't know. You shouldn't have that option.
Well, I mean, what are they gonna do if it's under construction? They still want to make that money off.
But
that
are they like
location.
upcharging you? Are they like just basically reselling pizza?
Part of me wondered, did they just get it from somewhere else? Like,
That's what I'm thinking they did. I think
Yeah.
it's a ghost kitchen style situation where they're
Find
like,
out the place?
they call it some sort of bougie pizza name, but it's really coming from Square Pie Guys.
But
and
that's,
nobody
but
buys it.
that's
You
a
should call
different
them an ass.
situation.
Yeah.
That's I hear you and I understand that, and like they have to identify themselves now when you go and it's like Uncle Tony's great pizza, and then it puts in it's like, oh, it's Chuck E. Cheese or whatever. They have to say that's now because
Could you
people got
imagine
mad.
if you got a Chuck E. Cheese
That's
pizza?
happened. That happened to
You'd be
people.
like,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
What we should do is we should figure out a way to get Costco pizzas and just resell those as like for like $50 a piece.
There was a one time these kids I knew, I don't even remember anymore. I think I want to say it was high school, but it was they got drunk and then one of them was a Domino's person or whatever, and like the other guy got into it and thought it'd be funny to go around trying to like a funny like not even prank, but like to try to just deliver pizza to random houses or whatever.
So just would take a pizza and knock on a door and be like, your pizza's
But
here.
it was like they were already hanging out. They weren't at the pizza place, so they just put a frozen pizza uncooked into the pizza box and walk
Smart.
around with it.
Smart.
And
I'd
then
still be happy.
eventually, I think it was like the second or third house or whatever. Like they stumbled and the pizza fell out while they were arguing with this guy, and the guy's like, "That's not even a real pizza."
You know what?
always
Okay,
stuck
you know
with
what?
me.
It's called. Okay, I think I understand because they have another restaurant,
Yeah, I'm saying,
and the
that's what I'm
pizza looks
saying.
the same.
So that's what I'm saying to the not being a
sister
ghost
restaurant.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
it's like
Vill-
if
it's
a
called
Fiorella-
Village.
I
It's
see what
called
you're
Village
saying. I see what you're
Pizzeria.
saying.
Oh, Village
Oh,
Pizzeria.
Village.
I know
Oh,
Village.
yeah, I know Village. I actually like Village Pizzeria.
Yeah, they got good. Like, the little cup pepperoni is my
Yeah.
favorite.
Oh, yeah.
my
They
God.
have
Yeah, you
they
gotta
got
make
really
up for it.
good like old school like bread, like cheese bread that you
Yeah.
get. You know,
Yeah.
like garlic bread.
Really, I didn't know that. I love
it's
that because
really
I saw a
good.
commercial recently. Mouse watering, just thinking about it. Sunday NFL, and I saw. I think it was a commercial for Little Caesars, which is like got to be a really good commercial if you're making that shit look really
Pizza,
tasty.
pizza.
Now, I'm not trying to like hate. I lived on
There was a
Little
time and
Caesars.
place for sure.
And I still probably could be honest with you, but there was a video of like just a slow-mo dunk of a cheese bread into sauce.
Crazy bread.
Good Lord, it is so crazy.
It's one of those things where like I know our lives are moving at 1,000 miles an hour, and we don't have time for this. But I wish we lived the type of lives where it was like once a week, we all get together, go to the local pizzeria, and you get a couple of those like plastic
The red
cups
ones,
Yeah.
the red
of
ones.
beer that's really cold, but the cup feels a little too squishy, you know?
Yeah.
And Greg always drinks them like this, where like you kind of just have like.
Have
you
we
just-
done this before?
Yeah,
Or is this in your
I-
vision?
No, yeah, in my head, this is how you drink them. But you're never palming it. It's always
Yeah,
just by
yeah.
the rim. You're just taking
Sure,
by the
yeah.
rim, just a little, you know.
Okay.
And we just get a little too drunk while the kids run around.
Sure.
And the kid Ben's like, "Hey, Uncle
How
Nick,
many kids?
Can I, it's just one now. For
Oh,
now. We have more. And Ben just comes up. He's like, "Uncle Nick, can I have more money?" And I just give him
More money.
I just give him a 20.
In one of the 7 times I made the mistake of going over to Oakland, I went there for a kid's birthday party, and it was at a pizza place that also did fried chicken.
Peanuts, the Gorillas,
And now Oakland.
Oakland
That was
sucks.
just
The
Yeah,
whole
go
city getting shit on.
It was pizza and fried chicken. I was like, this is a dope place, except that it's in Oakland, so I'll never come back. And I
Yeah,
remember,
it's
you
too
know, I
far.
forgot
What'd you do?
about
Like, here's a sponsorship, Greg. You got to go watch the Gorillas in Oakland.
it. I'm gonna talk shit every Instagram story.
Hey, Andy, do you know that just happened? The Gorillas were here like a month ago in Oakland.
Really?
Yeah, you went there and you fucking watched a cartoon on TV. You know what I mean?
They performed.
Hanna-Barbera came out. Was like, here you go.
Greg, it's just the one
Hanna-Barbera.
dude when he performs.
Does he look like Moby?
I don't know. I've never looked at it in that way.
Does he look like Moby?
I imagine he looks like Moby. Tim, am I wrong?
No, I think it's
Yeah,
isn't
you're
it Rob
very
Thomas?
wrong. No.
Who's the lead singer for the
David
Gorillas?
Albarn.
Rob Thomas?
He doesn't look like Moby. He looks like Matchbox 20 is Rob Thomas.
I don't know why it's not Rob Thomas. What's Damon Albarn look
David
like?
Albarn. He's a British dude. He's got like kind of long hair on top.
Andy
kinda.
vibes, I would say.
Who was
the
isn't there
glasses
another
with the hair?
big name in the Gorillas?
Well, I mean, it's David Albarn's thing, and like he collaborates with a ton of other.
He was
people.
from
Blur.
Blur.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
The next one I've heard of. That's the Gorillas guy.
I mean, the guy looks more like Rob Thomas than he does whoever else we were talking about.
Sure, for sure. Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you on that one.
There's very different vibes, though. You know.
Who are we?
Back to the regional American food Twitter, all right?
We gotta get Rob.
Regional
Gotta
U.S.
get Rob
food.
Thomas.
The next one I've heard of, I've never tried, but I can't imagine any of us would stop each other from eating it. Kevin, toss up number 2 for me. This, of course, the Fluffer Nutter. They're crediting it to Massachusetts. Peanut butter and marshmallow cream on white bread.
I would actively try this.
I
I
crushed
feel
this.
like I would end up not loving it at the end of the day.
I
I'm a
like
big
marshmallow.
peanut butter fan, and like I'm a big peanut butter and just white bread fan. Like you give some combos there, like jelly added, I'm good for that. Like there's a couple other
was pretty
peanut butter
fun, dude.
banana sandwich,
Yeah.
big fan
Oh,
of that.
That's
yeah.
so good, Tim.
But
Put
the
peanut butter on Ritz
marshmallow,
crackers. Try that
I'm a
out.
little. I don't know about that. I feel like it might be too much of what I'm looking for.
Marshmallow, I think, is one of the great underused foods.
I think it's used properly.
You know what I mean? Because it's like when I'm eating a marshmallow, S'mores? S'mores.
Snores.
S'mores, hot chocolate, right? Or on top of a yam at Thanksgiving. Otherwise, they're just sitting there getting stale in your cabinet.
I feel like you're such a fan of marshmallows. And now that I think, like,
Come on.
Stale Puff.
Yeah, Stay Puft Marshmallow. Man.
Stale puff.
Yeah, yeah. One of my like
That's like
worst
it's like
takes,
a
I
Cranky
think.
Kong Stay Puff universe. You got Stay Puff, Stale Puff, Stone Puff.
Like I say a lot of dumb shit, and I stand by it because I'm a dumb person. But I think one of my least popular takes of something that is just I can't change about myself. I just don't fuck with s'mores and anything about them.
Okay.
I don't think you need to. I mean, marshmallows are one of those things where, like, I used to eat them when I was a kid because they were round and they were sugary. But they're just not very satiating.
I
They're
never
not good
liked
as a
them
sweet.
as much as like people acted like, yo, you're
No.
not supposed to take down half a bag of these marshmallows. You know
You're like, what
I
else
mean?
am I gonna do? They compress it down to like a little thimble.
Yeah, like, I need
when
to
you start
fucking
doing
do
it.
that.
You know what? Sorry, just a real quick thing.
Don't get me started on
It's
Rocky
Halloween
Road.
time. Just a shout out to Peeps for diversifying. Where I can get a Frankenstein Peep now. I can get a pumpkin
I
Peep.
can't allow a shout out to people. I just can't.
Yeah, we really just don't need to shout out
No,
Peeps.
for like 75 years, they were like, we only show up at Easter. That's us.
I will not stand.
And finally, the great granddaughter got promoted to CEO, and she's like, "Great news! There's other holidays,
Yeah.
so we're going to make them for
Turns
that
out we
too."
can make a
can fuck up the
Valentine
rest
peep
of the year.
and a Halloween peep.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I'm with you, Tim. Like, whenever I
It's-
get a rocky road,
Yeah,
it's the equivalent of thinking that a chocolate chip cookie has chocolate chips instead of raisins. You know, like you see the cookie, you're like, oh, chocolate chip, and then it ends up being a raisin. You go, ah, fuck that. I don't want the marshmallow texture in my ice cream.
No.
Get out of here.
Oh,
You know, in the ice cream, I don't mind it. I like the Rocky Road. It's just when it's the dominant thing. The s'mores is conservatively 80% marshmallow, and that's just too much. I want more. If the marshmallow were like,
give me a little Nestle crackle or something.
oh yeah.
Oh, that sounds pretty good.
You know what else it boils down to? It boils down to little tiny Halloween candies. You'd always get like the Three Musketeers bars, which feel like they have marshmallow in them, even though I know they don't.
that's what is that?
What am I
That's
thinking that has
that's
marshmallow?
whipped. Oh, that has it. The one you crackle.
What? Snap, crackle, bomb? Don't even get me started.
Do not get us started.
Don't get me
What's
started.
the snack crock? What is it?
That's Rice Krispies.
No, I was gonna say, don't get me started on the Trader Joe's dark chocolate peanut butter cups that Barrett and Alyssa made a huge mistake of leaving out kind of just for the public.
Can I say something that's going to
Big mistake on their part. I
very
destroyed like
controversial.
half of it.
First off, sorry, I thought you were going to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
No.
Because of the words you just brought up. Not only did Greg
Just the words you just said.
savagely destroy the Peanuts today and the Gorillas and Oakland apparently and all this, I do also want to bring up that like I got so mad at something he said that I was like, I'm not even going to engage with him right now. But during that tirade of talking about things, he also tried throwing some shade at Rice Krispie treats.
No, Rice Krispies. I was saying
Okay.
people who are saying
Okay.
peanuts are their favorite cartoon are the same that would say my favorite cereal is Rice Krispies.
There. Okay.
I love a Rice Krispie treat.
Good.
You know
That's a
that.
strong
It's got
man. That's a
marshmallows
strong
in
You
it.
man.
can't love a Rice Krispie treat without also loving Rice Krispies.
Yeah, that's a straw man. You're creating.
Oh, that's the stupidest thing. So you
yeah. You're creating this thing on your own.
that's like saying, man,
Yeah,
because I like beer, I have to respect hops at all times.
Gotta
all
respect the
right?
hops.
Too many people are growing hops.
Respect the hops, man.
You know what I mean?
Respect the hops.
I can respect the individual ingredient. I can disrespect. Here's the thing. Like, this is stupid. All right? Rice Krispies, oh, it's my favorite cereal. Dude, this shit sucks. It's tasteless. That's what I'm saying, right?
yeah.
You put some marshmallows in there, you put some sugar in there, you're cooking, right? So now you're saying that, yeah, I can't sit there and be like, man, I hate eating spoonfuls of flour, but I love eating cake. You're saying that's not fair? I can't do that?
Yeah. I'm saying you got to respect the flour if you like the cake. You got to respect
I
the elements that
respect
go
it
into
fine
it.
as an ingredient and should be used for what it's used for. You shouldn't eat flour, Bear. You shouldn't eat Rice Krispies, Bear, unless they're in the little box. You got that, like, you know, you get the Apple Jacks, you get the Fruit Loops, you buy the sampler, and then you just got the box of Rice Krispies. Then
It's one of
you're all
those things
set.
where, like, who picks the who picks the boxes? Who picks the flavors that go into these boxes?
Kellogg's.
Because there's always one flavor, and they were like, why?
Corn Pops.
Why
What
wouldn't
are you
you just
talking about?
put more Fruit Loops
Here's
in
some
there?
fucking
Variety
Corn Pops for you.
packs of those little cereals.
Oh, gotcha.
You know, you get the little boxes, and there's always like 3 left over, and they're always Rice Krispies.
Well, the
'cause Rice
bigger
Krispies
problem
suck.
is, and we just need to face an unfortunate reality. There are more bullshit cereals than there are good ones.
True.
Yeah, of course.
And like
Sad
that,
reality.
it's just like I feel,
Me and Nick did a KFAF ranking of the series.
yeah.
The
Who'd
other day,
forget?
Kevin walked by and he was like, "Hey, you want to? If I get some cereal, will you go in on it?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "What should I get?" I'm like, "Get Fruity Pebbles." And he went, "Ho ho ho!" And I was like, "Is that good or bad?" He's like, "No, it's good. It just tastes like poison, but I'm in." I'm like, "All right."
It's pure sugar.
But here, guess what? There's no Fruity Pebbles here.
Cocoa Pebbles. I
See,
think
now
are
you've
superior.
challenged Kevin, and now
I
Kevin's
said,
gonna
I
bring
said I'd
a
do Cocoa
bucket of
Pebbles
it.
too.
Did I ever? Did you ever end up trying or finding the Fruity Pebble Kit Kats?
No, I had the Fruity Pebble
They were amazing.
white chocolate Easter bunny.
Oof.
That is a lot.
That
It
sounds
was
actually
delicious.
really
it was
good.
cereal milk chocolate, or
Yeah.
it was like cereal milk chocolate with the
sounds
cereal
incredible.
in it. It was
Wow.
delicious.
Can I say something?
chocolate
Because you guys
Easter
brought
bunny.
up dark chocolate
Sure.
earlier, and I just have to say this. It's something I feel like
Who
I've,
brought it
I've
up?
been living a lie. Can't remember.
You did with your Reese's.
Did you bring it up?
It's just something I always want to make fun of Nick for. It's always like, all right, well, somebody brought up not liking the grills. I think it was Tim. It's
I can't remember which one you were talking about.
But the
That.
best thing is, it's the attribution where he's like, he's trying. He's actively trying. He's like, someone said
remember
it.
what.
I want to get it right. He says the name. It's 50-50 shot. And we're all like, at least he's
All
trying.
right, all right. Listen. So Tim brought up dark chocolate. I don't fucking know. I'm gonna tell you this. It's gonna sound controversial. Dark chocolate. I finally turned a corner. Don't like it.
whoa.
Get it the fuck out of everything. Get it out of everything. And here's why. Dark chocolate covered almonds. Milk chocolate covered almonds. Way fucking better. Everything that's covered in milk chocolate is better than what's covered in dark chocolate. And everyone's gonna say, oh, dark chocolate's way healthier for you.
Is it way healthier? I
Is
think
it way
saying it's
healthier?
way
Is
healthier.
it way
Why don't you
healthier?
smack your lap?
It
Your
is
lips
way
so much.
healthier because it has good things for you as well.
Cacao.
Yeah, there's all these things that like it does help with you, and that's the reason it's healthy. It's not healthier because it's like less sugar or whatever, you know.
It's got good like.
Here's the thing, though. It's like, you know what else is healthy for you?
Electrolytes.
Healthier for you?
Working
Dirt.
out.
And that's what dark chocolate tastes like, dirt. It tastes like nothing. It's bitter dirt taste. Just let me have a little sugar with milk chocolate, and it's fine.
You're crazy. These Trader Joe's dark chocolate peanut butter cups, I'd pick them any day, second, minute
No.
over
no
a Reese's.
fucking
Absolutely.
way, Andy.
I need to
no
try.
way
You
you're
need
gonna
to
do
bring
that.
some, Andy, because I find this hard to
Absolutely.
believe.
You're
And
gonna
here's the thing,
pick that over the goat candy,
If
the
you
goat
gave-
Halloween
if
candy,
you
the
gave me
Reese's peanut butter cup.
just a lump of the dark chocolate, I'd be like, nah, give me regular chocolate.
Yeah.
Something about this combination
That combo, man, peanut butter
is
goes a long way.
way better than a Reese's.
You're just You've changed,
you've
man.
You've probably had Reese's too long as one form. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Now you're looking to switch it up. This was a big problem back when I was in college. It seemed like the Nestle Crunch was phasing out the Nestle Crunch because I could only get Nestle Crunch caramel anywhere. And I had fucking Shaquille O'Neal on TV. This is true story. Shaquille O'Neal on TV.
And you wonder why I can't follow anything on this podcast?
Like, is it me? Is it me? It's hard to follow, right?
Okay, so Shaquille O'Neal was on TV.
Yeah.
Do you remember this commercial?
It's a true
No.
story.
It's him and somebody else on a stoop, and they're arguing about how to say caramel or caramel.
I do actually remember that commercial.
And it was because of the Nestle Crunch caramel bar, whatever you want to call it. And the problem was then you'd go to the gas station or whatever, and that's what would be there. They wouldn't have the normal Nestle Crunch.
M&M's had a similar issue with the Crispy. They
Sure.
introduced this orange motherfucker, and he's out there on all the commercials yapping.
Yeah.
And then it's just harder to get the M&M's you actually want. Shout out to Crispy, though. They were
God.
good. But I do feel like they kind of overstayed their welcome in terms of
yeah.
market dominance.
And then and remember that was a big deal, and then they went off to the races. They got pretzels.
Yeah,
I think they got marshmallow M&Ms now. They got everything.
Hit that one year. It was just M&Ms, and then the next year it was like everything. Everything you could possibly put in M&M, we're gonna put it in.
Yeah. Remember when they did minis too? And I like how they sold minis like they were like, you're gonna be out for a run. You're gonna be in the middle of a 5K and you're gonna need some sugar.
They're just giving. They give little cups of minis to marathon runners.
For running, chugging minis.
I can't explain to you like what growing up in the late 90s, early 2000s meant for us when
They were
M&M
huge.
minis were a thing.
They're
That was everything.
they were so
'Cause now
popular.
it's food and toys. You now have like cool. You can pretend to use a lightsaber.
Put your
Fill
coins
it with
in it.
water. It becomes a fucking water
Yeah.
grenade. Which is great. We fuck kids up with those things.
Of course,
man.
yeah.
I'll tell
that's the
you,
problem.
I mean, holy cow. If I were a kid now, Nick got to witness these with me, and so did Kevin over there. These Nerds bunches.
Oh man, they're
Southern had
so
this
gross.
nerd ropes and all that stuff. I love nerds.
So like Nerds Ropes have been around forever. That was another kind of place in time when
Yeah.
like
2 years.
when Nerds Rope came out, and you were like 12 years old. You're like, what is this? This is the next evolution
How
of
is
it.
the science
So
there
it's
for
like
this,
a-
man?
Imagine like the texture of a Twizzler.
Yeah.
Super sweet, but with nerds surrounding it.
It was kind of like a fruit roll-up more, but like in a different form.
Well, it was
surrounded
just like
by-
a long ass thing. It was almost like
It's like someone. If
think of
someone
like when you get a
sucked on
hot dog.
If someone sucked on a Twizzler and rolled it in Nerds.
Yeah, it's just that doesn't
they're
sound
gross.
appetizing.
It's so
and this
fucking
is because
good.
I
They're
grew
so
up
disgusting.
respecting and loving the nerds. Remember you get the little cardboard packet and the two
Yeah,
slots
so
on the
it's
top,
horrible.
and you go off one, you go off the other, and then you start mixing, and then it gets wet from your
cardboard gets
saliva.
wet.
Yeah,
The whole
yeah.
board,
But it was
yeah.
God, you're
Eat.
crunching them, you're eating little rocks.
Yeah,
You're having
yeah.
a great time.
Here's what happened. What movie were we watching? What the fuck was it? It was like last week, right? It was
Black
like
Adam.
Black Adam. And Andy's like, "Do you want some of these fucking nerd balls
Yeah.
or whatever they are?" And I'm like, "Nah."
Hey, it's like I
And then
dropped my Twizzler on the floor of the
And it
movie
rolled
theater.
around, and then
Yeah.
Andy picked it up, put it in a package, and then offered it to his
Yeah.
best friend.
But the
Nick.
nerd bunches are now the Nerds Rope, just in
in ball form.
yeah.
Okay.
It's ball form. It's like a little tiny cluster of nerd.
Sure.
And I'm like, I'll have a little. I'm hungry. It'll offset with the popcorn that I've already eaten of Andy's. And I have
Yeah.
a couple, and I'm like, these are so fucking disgusting. And then about 5 minutes later, I was like, yo, what's up with those nerds? Are you gonna get it?
Remember, you saw it happen live with me in the Sweet Tart rope.
Yeah,
I bought the Sweet Tart,
you
and I was like, everybody,
flipped
I was
the
like,
switch
I have
on
an
that
announcement to make, everybody. I made Nick buy me these Sweet Tart taffy ropes or whatever from the gas
Yeah.
station. It turns out I don't like them. If you want them, come get them. And then in the next 4 minutes, I ate all of them. I was like, yeah, this shit's great.
Kevin, can you bring up whenever you have a chance? Bring up the Nerds bunches,
Yep.
because I start digging into these, and they are the sweetest, tastiest things I've ever had. And then I like offer them up, and somebody back is like, "Nah, I got my candy." And Kevin takes a bit, and then I give some more to Nick, and I give some more to Kevin, and
You
I'm
might
just-
if you're gonna poop.
I am destroying this bag of Nerds bunches, and I think it's like the perfect evolution. It's what the Nerds Rope needed to become. Nearly a decade later.
You know,
Look at that, dude. It looks like COVID.
It does.
Jesus.
It does look like COVID.
there's a lot going on with this.
But the ones on the
Gummy
bottom left, though,
clusters.
of the right image,
Uh-huh.
like, look at that, dude. That's like the perfect image of a candy.
Yeah, the rope material is almost like a softer gummy bear, right?
Man,
Yeah,
I'll tell you what,
it's like fruit roll-up texture and
Yeah.
taste.
But it's sturdier than fruit roll-up.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
an odd,
Man, my mouth's
texture.
watering thinking about it.
and I don't like them, but I want more
So
of them.
good.
Hold on,
it's
guys.
so good.
I'm having some of those the Berenstain Bears situation.
Sure.
Maybe I'm just misremembering. It was Willy Wonka's Nerds, right? Like
think
Wonka
so.
was involved with
Yeah,
Nerds.
I've
yeah, I'm
never
pretty
seen
sure.
him. I've never seen them. I just remember them being nerds. Full stop.
Why do you keep saying I've never seen him?
You mean in the movie, or you mean like
I've never seen,
branded
I've never
Wonka
seen a
nerds?
Wonka nerd before.
Maybe
I don't
I'm wrong.
remember. Willy Wonka's chocolate was like a thing, but way later from when the movie came out.
Because well, in the '90s, I remember there was a couple Wonka.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there we
Oh
go.
wow.
Wonka
Yeah.
Nerds. I remember this trailer too.
Oh,
Exactly.
wow.
Yeah. This branding here with the Wonka, the little purple Wonka logo.
Oh wow, it
They
made it
went
to the
all out.
rope.
And then
Motherfucker looks like
did-
Benedict Cumberbatch.
They put out the chocolate bars, and
was
there was
based
the
off
golden
of-
ticket one as well.
Yeah, I remember that.
And
Yeah,
was
that-
that
but-
because the Tim Burton movie was coming out and everyone was like, get ready to ruin
Yeah.
Willy Wonka
No, it
forever?
was
for
way
you?
before that. Like, cause this was like '90s, and
That's
that was like
weird.
2007 or something.
When I grew up, I don't recall seeing Wonka nerds, but I could be totally wrong. It could be a.
So wait, when did Nerds? Kev, can you do a nerd fact check on this one?
I'll try.
Thank you.
Kevin, I also sent you a photo of Shaquille O'Neal from the Crunch thing,
Oh,
not
from
the
the
Crunch
commercial.
podcast. I call them commercials. My
From the
apologies.
commercial. Got it.
There it is.
There it
Remember,
is.
this is the infamous.
Caramel.
Yeah.
This looks like you and me sitting on the couch next to each other.
I'm gonna go with caramel. What are y'all gonna be for Halloween?
No, we don't have time for that. We're
Oh.
still in the middle of the regional
Time
food
for that,
fair.
Andy.
If you want to think
Hey,
about
hold on,
that,
hold on,
you
hold
have a
on.
Halloween podcast coming up, of course, on the day. It'll go up on All Saints Day, November 1st, of course. But there's a recording of the KindaFunny podcast next week, the 31st.
Real quick though, Andy, like, do you have something cool lined
Madeline
up?
Mad Exposure does ask, what's
Yeah?
your favorite Halloween costume you ever had? So everybody think on that for next year. I feel like we've done it
next-
before.
next
Next
year.
year.
You know what I mean? Next movie. All right?
Okay.
Busting my balls here. I'm trying to keep this show on track. The Pixelated
On
Soul
crack.
sent in his time, his hard-earned respect. No money.
Let's go.
No
Let's go
money.
to the food. I want to see the weird pizza again.
Well,
that we
now
have.
look at Tim's going away.
He's getting
No, put it away. We haven't talked about this one yet. Instead,
going-
everybody, I'll tell you about patreon.com/kindafunny. On patreon.com/kindafunny, you can get 38 episodes of bonus content exclusively a month. You could go right now while it's still October, and you could get the Kinda Funny studio launch shirt for the spare bedroom. You could get a signed photo from us. You could get all the shows ad-free. You could get to watch the ones we record like this one live, like Cody Hagler is doing right there, and Melissa Hagler and Lexi G are all doing. But you could also go there for all the things I said. But you're not there right now. So guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Here's a word from our sponsor. You know what I have? No, besides a game award, life insurance. I want to make sure that if anything happens to me, my family's taken care of, and you should do the same. And since life insurance typically gets more expensive as we age, now is the time to buy. I didn't get my first life insurance policy until Ben was born, but it feels great knowing that no matter what, Jen and him are going to be okay. No matter what. Policy Genius was built to modernize the life insurance industry. Their technology makes it easy to compare life insurance quotes from top companies like AIG and Prudential in just a few clicks to find your lowest price. With Policy Genius, you can find life insurance policies that start at just $17 per month for $500,000 of coverage. They're not incentivized to recommend one insurer over another, so you can trust their guidance. And your personal info is private. No wonder they have thousands of 5-star reviews on Google and Trustpilot. Your loved ones deserve a financial safety net, and you deserve a smarter way to find and buy it. Head to policygenius.com or click the link in the description to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you could save. That's policygenius.com. Go deeper into the canals of Numenor, the mines of Khazad-dûm, and more with the official The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power podcast. Hosted by friend of the show, Felicia Day, and several special guests, they provide an inside look at the groundbreaking series and what it took to bring Middle-earth to life. Each episode of the official podcast features exclusive interviews with the series showrunners J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay, including the very first full breakdown of the incredible season finale. Felicia also goes behind the scenes with the cast and crew to bring you jaw-dropping stories and Easter eggs you don't want to miss. Watch The Rings of Power on Prime Video and listen to all 8 episodes of the official The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power podcast for free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app now.
It's just this far off.
So close. I'm so close.
Did you see
to
the one
having
where
it.
they went around the other day on Twitter or whatever of like the Seinfeld intro or whatever, but with people singing. Like it only happened once or whatever, where they actually had them like vocalizing over the actual like
Ooh, I
intro.
don't like that.
Not like the dip-a-dip-bop they did occasionally. But
Oh, I don't like that.
nobody liked it. Nobody did. All right, while Tim's gone, let's go to number 3, Kevin.
Go for it.
This one I'm most interested in your guys' opinion anyway.
Okay.
This is still from regional U.S. food. This is the Arizona Cheese Crisp. Similar to a quesadilla, but open face and baked until the tortilla becomes crisp.
100%.
Now, this reminds me, of course, you made a Parmesan crisp in the microwave.
Yeah, Parmesan plate.
And how do you do that?
You take a lot of Parmesan cheese and you put it in the microwave for way too long, and then it stinks up your entire house like a bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, this looks like what, whenever I go home.
That was incredible.
Wait, is it only cheese or is it like,
It's only cheese.
but it says
it's a
baked until the
tortilla.
tortilla becomes
tortilla.
crisp.
Yeah, well,
with cheese
yeah,
on top.
yeah.
So it's cheese in a tortilla, Greg.
Yeah. Okay.
not
Sorry, I
just
thought we were
only
talking about
cheese.
what's under.
It's like a
what we're-
quesadilla
you know,
pizza.
Got
I
it.
thought
Pizza.
Andy understood there was a tortilla.
No, well, you brought up the Parmesan thing, which is just Nick
Gotcha.
fucking cooking cheese.
I tell you know, would you believe that I tell people that story from time to time? And they think I'm crazy.
also-
Cool Greg laughing.
Nick, I feel like that also ruins plastic plates too.
You definitely don't want to do it on a plastic
Yeah.
plate. Yeah, you probably want to pour a sturdy porcelain plate underneath that bad boy.
Yeah.
For
or
sure.
a paper plate, which I think
Tim, would you
No,
make the
paper plate,
Arizona
no, it
cheese
pulls
crisp
off the
similar to a
paper.
quesadilla but open face and baked until the tortilla becomes crisp?
Yes.
All right, great.
What I do when I go home, this always happens when I go home. It'll be like 10:20 p.m. and my dad just like will want to toss on a movie, right?
Yeah.
And we'll like kind of start the movie and then he'll like 10 minutes in he'll be like, "You want nachos?"
Yeah.
Hell
Fuck yeah. So what he
Yeah.
does is he'll get like Santitas or Tostitos or whatever we got in the cupboard, and on the little toaster oven tray, foil, right? Then you put a bunch of tortilla chips, and then he just spreads
Yeah.
shredded cheese
Yeah.
with jalapenos.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. And then he gets it like super toasted.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It is like such a good little snack
That's
to
the
have.
best,
It's
dude.
the best. And then we're just watching like a dope ass Marvel movie on his OLED TV.
You're
It's so
nailing
cool.
the Scarpino family like Christmas Eve after dinner meal.
Yeah.
Where everyone settles down, everyone's like, I couldn't possibly eat anything, and about 15 minutes later, someone gets up and goes to the
Fuck
fridge,
yeah.
starts pulling shit out,
Yeah.
and then shit gets like piled on and then nuked in the microwave. So
Yeah.
good.
Or I'll hear like popping in the kitchen. I'm like, what's going on? My dad will come out with a bunch of popcorn, 2 pickles.
That's
Like,
oh yeah. I want to
Come
party
on.
with your dad.
come
man.
on, man. Oh, by the way, I ordered like a 24-pack of Twang pickle salt.
yes.
Love it. We're gonna go to number 4 now, and I will ask you to listen to all the ingredients before you make a snap judgment, because you're gonna look at it and be like, of course. And maybe you'll still finish, of course, but who knows? Kevin, throw up number 4. These are ham balls from Iowa, a meatball made with ground ham, ground beef, and graham cracker crumbs, typically served with a tomato brown sugar glaze.
Oh, fuck these things.
Where
I
could you
didn't know if the
possibly go
graham cracker
wrong?
would throw people off at all.
Make it a
I
little
feel like
sugary.
graham cracker is
okay with it.
inoffensive
It's there for
enough of a
texture.
taste. It's more of a
Okay.
texture thing. And I'm like, cool, I'm getting a little crunch in there. That sounds like a good
It's
time.
filler,
But
right?
now this,
I'm not against it. I would eat it. And again, I've had it. I think I've had these. I think Kay Hayes, I think she's making some very similar meatballs, Swedish meatballs to this.
The Trogs are just jackals, man. You say one thing wrong and they pick up on that. Ground brief.
Oh, well, you know what it is? You know, it's as usual. This is how
I'm
it is.
shocked you guys didn't call it out when it
I
happened.
was
I
waiting for
heard
the
it,
chat.
you
to
know.
go
We all
out.
understand and respect each other as performers.
Yeah.
sure.
These audience
Exactly.
members, what do? They sit on the other side of the screen with no fucking talent, and they just want to judge what we do. I'd love to see Anthony Corbett get off his ass, get on this couch, and try to host a podcast.
You made fun of me
He
for
fucking shit bricks and then walk out.
Well, I got a question. Can you bring up that image one more time, Kev?
Oh, man.
Tomato brown. Is that a color?
No, I
Or
have no
tomato
idea.
/ brown sugar. So it's tomato sauce and a brown sugar. So they're taking tomato sauce, putting brown sugar into it. That's the glaze.
I thought they were saying like this. By the way, this sugar glaze, it's tomato brown. Like I thought that's what they were saying.
That's
Great.
very confusing.
So far, all of these look delicious.
And I do feel this might be where we start to cross a line.
There it is.
I'm
Not
excited.
that, and I won't lie to you,
That's
I
nice.
don't think these escalate into a crazy thing, but
Sure.
of course, this is what
Anthony
Pixelated
says,
Soul wanted to
"Damn."
see.
Sorry, Anthony.
So yeah, Kevin,
You
go to
fucked
the
up.
next one. We go, of course, to Cleveland, Ohio, where we're talking about the Polish boy.
Ooh.
Kielbasa in a bun with barbecue sauce, French fries,
yes.
and coleslaw.
Oh my
Oh,
God,
it's
yes.
so dirty, but I'm gonna
It's
want it.
filthy. Go ahead.
This is us after a night of drinking at a convention.
Go one more over, Kev, because I think this is a beautiful photo of the Polish boy. I agree, but go one more over, and I think
God,
this is more
that's it.
accurately what you're gonna get.
That's what you're gonna get.
And that I would not be down for.
That looks like onion.
And
That
I,
looks like.
and I don't want to say I'm not. I could eat this with a fork and knife and be happy, but I feel like this is my favorite. French fries, coleslaw, and a kielbasa. I love these things, but you get them together like this, and how am I eating this? Like on the street, I'm trying to party. I can't party.
That's the
like this.
biggest problem is
wait.
the eatability of it all. Like I
Yeah.
feel like with a lot of these, you do start to get to that point of like I would eat it with a fork and knife. I feel like if you're doing that, it's like you shouldn't be eating this. Then it's like that's a different beast. What's up, Kev?
I think this is though like we've been perfectly trained with the burrito on how to eat this, where you just keep it wrapped until like it's the part that you're putting in your mouth.
But there's
and then
so
you're just tearing the foil.
there's so much like barbecue
There's
sauce
gonna-
on this.
look, Nick,
that it
you're
never
gonna
really-
lose a fry,
it's-
Kev.
You're getting
Oh,
barbecue
yeah.
sauce on your shirt.
You're gonna lose fry. I'm getting a lot of shit on my shirt.
You're getting your
for
shit all over
sure.
your shirt.
And
Kevin's gonna look like a fucking
fought
ink
with
block
4 of
painting.
but I'm gonna have a great meal.
I'll fuck that thing up.
yeah,
That
it
first,
doesn't
the
matter.
first
Usually.
picture. Can you go back to the first picture, Kev?
That
That right there just looks delightful to me.
The hot dog looks very burnt.
Yeah, I don't mind that though. I like a little burnt dog because it goes with the barbecue
I don't
sauce.
think that's a little burnt.
It's just the dip. is
here's
burnt
the thing.
on both sides.
I don't even love eating hot dogs. This looks really appetizing. Like this is something I'd want to.
This reminds me of something you find in Austin.
There's just
Yeah.
no consistency with these. Like they look like completely different
The
meals,
next
these
one is the
4
one that looks the
pictures.
best.
Well, I think the
Yeah.
first. I think the first
Like
and the
I'm
last.
down for this one.
That
The
looks
first and the
amazing.
last are definitely like real photos. This is the one you put on your menu, not that one. That's the first
Yeah.
one. This one, yeah, I can see on a menu. The next one is definitely the beauty shot you have on your website. This is on
Right.
DoorDash. This is on Uber Eats.
I
And
just
this is how it
realized
arrives.
that like when it comes to hot dogs, I am a mega big hot dog fan. But the moment you start adding too much, it just hits a point where like this isn't a hot dog anymore. This is just you're trying. You're trying to be a little boutique, right? There's like all those. There's a place in Stonestown, not too far from here, and they just do different hot dogs, where they do all the different like
How far
it's
is
that
it?
type of
Is
stuff.
it 2 blocks or is it 5
Oh,
blocks?
it's just a couple blocks away. But no, it's they just go too hard. And it's like I realized if I just get like a normal hot dog from them, I'm happy.
Dude.
But anytime I open it, I'm looking at it, and I'm just like, what Kevin said is right. If you just eat it like a burrito, you're gonna have a better time. But the difference between what we just looked at and a burrito
tortilla.
is a burrito's kind of made, the tortilla's built to
It's got a
like
diaper.
yeah, to like hold it
in
all
diaper.
off. But not only that, this is also going to just be like the end bites of a burrito are fantastic. The end bites of that are just going to be like
Sauce.
just disgusting,
And a
soggy,
French fry.
wet French fry that's just covered in barbecue sauce that's been there too long. Not for me, no.
Let's move on to number 6. For this one, we will go to the Mid-Atlantic states, often associated with Pennsylvania Dutch cuisine, and we're talking about scrapple, a loaf made from pork scraps combined with cornmeal, wheat flour, and spices, typically pan-fried
no.
before serving.
Oh, it's maple syrup.
Fuck no,
I thought it was a
this-
fifth of bourbon. I was like, what? You have to
This
drink
looks like
that?
something you eat when you're in a fucking like space colony or something. Absolutely not.
Nick, I guarantee you this is crispy and delicious. I would eat this shit out. This looks like this
Get
is
out of that.
Spam's older,
Better
more
brother.
hardcore
Yes.
brother. Yeah.
This is the cougar
This
of
is the
Spam.
Matt.
Crispy. You
when I think
toast it up
about-
a little bit. Oh, it's so fucking good. Are you kidding me?
When I think about sci-fi,
It's very
and I
European.
think of somebody saying like, "Yeah, I'll take 2 like meal bars," where it's just like concentrated
all they
meal.
eat?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like this is that.
It's like the shit they ate on the Nebuchadnezzar in the Matrix, right? Which is
Yeah.
like a goop.
The gruel.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the gruel. I would eat. I love this though. I would eat the hell out of
yeah,
it.
I believe
I
You
believe
know
I've
what?
had scrapple. I forget where, but I definitely feel like I've had it.
It's just like a meatloaf, right? Some sort of meatloaf.
And that's my thing. Like this, we're getting to the point here where
good looking.
I can get really like particular about when I know what's in something. If you just told me there's a meatloaf, I'd be like, I'm all in. I love meatloaf and I'm good on this. When you
Pork
start
scraps?
calling it like pork scraps, then I'm like, you could have just not said those
don't
words, and
need
I
the
would have felt
details.
very
They're just-
differently.
they're
This
just
looks so
words.
Dutch. I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna text my wife and see if she knows what scrapple
Cody
is.
Hagler says this looks like there's no electricity around it.
yeah, no, 100%.
Kansas meal.
Like this is definitely a photo that someone scanned, right, or took a photo of.
I don't know.
I mean,
I
it
think
just looks
that
like
looks
somebody,
like an original photo.
you know what it was? It looks like somebody touched their lens with the grease from
Yeah.
the scrapple, and it gave a light bloom on the
They
side
had
of
the
it.
grease from the hot dog fucking.
Yeah.
Dude, this is one of those things that where like I would eat it and be like, that's really delicious, guys, thanks. And then later in the party, when they're ice cold, I'm like, and I'm drunk, I'm like, oh God, they're gonna keep eating the scrapple. Somebody take the scrapple away.
It's going ham on that scrapple right now.
Greg just takes a picture of me and tweets it. I'm like, I deserve this shame.
Now,
the shame of the
again,
scrapple.
lots of these I feel like have been things. Arizona cheese crisp I hadn't heard of. You know what I mean? An open face quesadilla, but whatever. This is where I learned something today. This is number 7, ladies and gentlemen. This is a Coolicles or Kool-Aid Dills. Dill pickles soaked in Kool-Aid. This is from the Mississippi Delta.
Oh,
yeah.
fuck no.
Fuck yeah.
This is where we start to diverge. No, thank you.
Absolutely.
That looks terrible.
I
Oh,
don't like sweet
man.
pickles to begin with.
No, I
So
don't
the
either.
idea that I'm getting Kool-Aid flavored pickles, that's a bit too far for me.
I would definitely give this thing a shot.
Ew.
But like, there's
I'll
some.
make you some.
Dude, that looks so good, bro. Like the green, the fluorescent green
It
and
looks
yellow
good
and
from a
orange.
colorful perspective,
Yeah.
but the taste is where I'm like, oof. I don't know if I could do that.
Kevin, when you have a chance, can you just, I don't know how to spell it, so just guess. Piccadilly, like raspa or snow cone or whatever the right word is. I call them raspas. I heard snow cone for the first time in my life when I was like 15 or some shit. Piccadillies, Greg, are these snow cones from back home where it's shaved ice, right?
Yeah.
But it's got like Kool-Aid and all these different flavors, and it's got like super hot spicy stuff with pickles and like
Okay.
they
God,
just
what the
go
hell?
they go off with the flavors in these damn things, and they are so good, dude. Like it's a flavor profile you wouldn't expect to want until you have it. You're like, oh, this is kind of balancing perfectly. I don't know what the fuck that is. That looks like COVID also. But yeah, Piccadillies are like something, if you ever go to I feel like this is like primarily a Latin
Andy,
thing.
is this looking right?
Yeah, Kevin. Oh yeah, you put a bunch of derechas on it. Oh baby.
Derechas.
Oh baby.
Number 8
Mouth
here
watering,
is
dude.
going to be a palate cleanser for most of us, I feel. I think it actually speaks to what Nick just brought up, and we've all been there before. But really, I find the first photo horrific. The other two look, oh yeah, I'd eat that, no problem.
Okay.
This is just, they're calling it the turkey dressing sandwich.
Fuck.
Dubuque, Iowa. Turkey stuffing and gravy on a bun, a specialty of Kramer's. I don't know what that is exactly. But if you look at the last 2 photos, I'm like, oh, a Thanksgiving leftover sandwich. is
Yeah,
what my mom
that
always
looks so
called
good.
it. But that first one, I would run out of the fucking
The
house.
first
rather
one
than eat
looks
this.
like someone shot it in the stomach and it's bleeding.
It looks like a sandwich threw up on itself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
the
looks
first
great.
That
though.
looks awesome.
That's like,
But
that's
where's
something-
the gravy on that? You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
you gotta pull
Going
the
over
gravy
to
on
Kevin. Yeah, you got it.
The first
this one
one,
also
some-
looks fine. That's the stuffing and the turkey. Yeah, okay, we're in business. But that first one where they're like,
It somehow
let's
looks
take the
gory.
turkey, the stuffing, and just fucking, it looks like vomit.
It
That
looks
is a
violent.
vomit.
And then they put some American cheese on
That's
it.
where they went
What
too
the
far.
hell's
That's
going
where
on
they
with
went
that?
too far.
That's disgusting.
American cheese really is like a sign of something. Like anytime you see it on
zero
it, it's like
quality.
that is a choice, and like y'all made that choice. What's that say about this meal and you as a person?
I'll tell you what though, American cheese is my favorite Lunchable
Oh, I
cheese.
mean, I fucking
Would
I
you believe?
love
We're
American
talking
cheese.
about the same cheese, right? The one where you got the unwrapped each
Yeah.
individual slice.
Yeah.
of it.
Kraft singles.
Would you believe that as a child that was one of my favorite snacks? I would just sit it down like a deck of cards in front of me and one by one
Nick,
unwrap
I've
them and
seen
eat
you
them.
do that.
It's so good.
I used to do
Like,
that.
that's
I
just
do, you know, I do, Kev. I took the whole thing. I stuff it in my.
I used to pretend I was a mouse.
Yeah, who didn't?
I used to pretend I was a mouse and eat the cheese, just like I
Did you
would.
eat the center out of it and put it on the sides of the lambs?
No,
That
but I
was
would
the-
also eat lettuce and pretend I was like a brachiosaurus. And one time I ate a house plant at my house, and my brother.
You want to take that one? You want to take that one?
Oh, when you say you ate a houseplant,
I ate a piece of a house plant at my house that my mom just had up in the house somewhere. And my brother told me it was poisonous, I was going to die. And so I called my mom and my dad when I was at work, and I was like, I'm so sorry, but I'm going to die.
Cool.
They're like, why? I was like, I ate a piece of. They're
I
like,
was
no,
pretending to be a
don't."
dinosaur.
Yeah,
They're
I
like,
was-
which one? You're like,
Brachiosaurus.
you
That's-
fucking nerd.
Did you? The plant, did the plant make you sick at all?
No, I just thought I was going to die.
no.
My brother told me it was
Brother
poisonous.
just lied to him like
Yeah.
he ate a
Yeah, he got
poinsettia.
me
Like
for
he
that.
ate a poinsettia.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's weird.
Poinsettia's a good one, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so here we go. These two I feel like are related. All right, we're gonna go to number 9 first, ladies and gentlemen. I'll introduce you to the Slopper. This is a burger.
Thank
This
you.
is a burger covered in chili sauce and typically eaten with a knife
yes.
and fork. Pueblo, Colorado
How
Springs,
else would you
Colorado.
eat this?
I know, right? Typically, meaning that somebody's been like, "Thanks for the Slopper."
Eat it with my hand like a
essentially
Fucking
savage.
Slimer.
It's a wet burrito, but it's a wet burger.
That's great. I would
So
eat
it's an
this.
interesting idea, but again, I feel like it's bad because the tortilla kind of made to sustain these wet environments.
I mean, look at this one.
Burger
this is king of the
bread,
Sloppers.
I don't think so.
Oh, wait, so it's got,
Damn.
the bread is covered as well here.
Yeah, there's a burger.
Yeah.
Imagine a
It's like
burger
a,
there.
what do they call
Okay.
it? Open
It's like
face
the
sandwiches?
sloppiest Joe.
But it looks like it's only the top bun. You see this?
You
I
think
Yeah.
don't
there's
see
a
a
bottom
bottom bun
on
on
it?
this.
Yeah.
I also don't see a bottom bun here. Tim, I'd like to remind you of the chili cheeseburger from Jenny's. Because it's basically this, but it's chili cheese.
Oh yeah, no, I'm well aware, Kevin. Yeah.
I love it.
Oh,
I'm
we
so
know,
in.
Kev. We know.
I'll tell you, can we stop on this
Yeah.
picture? I'll tell you what else looks quite delightful in this picture.
That watch?
The coleslaw.
Sure.
Oh,
I'm not a
they-
coleslaw fan.
I'm not either.
But every once in a while, you get a good coleslaw, you're like, hey, kudos to you for trying.
That one I wouldn't like, I don't think. But
Yeah,
I
don't think
occasionally like
I'm
it.
with you that I fuck with coleslaw on occasion, but no, I don't know about that one.
I thought you meant the G-Shock watch as well.
Yeah.
No. I mean, whatever.
And we will end in the great state of Missouri, where we will talk about the Slinger in St. Louis. 2 eggs, hash browns, and a meat patty.
These sound like
typically
sex moves.
ground beef or
The
sausage,
slogger.
topped with chili cheese and onions.
Yes.
Again, look at that first photo, because that is just like, yikes.
Again, the cheese.
Yeah?
This says something.
You know, it's one of those things where I'm like, I kind of was put off on it, but just the white onion chopped up and put
Yeah.
on top, I'm kind of into it.
It's so good.
It looks like 5 people half-assed it.
Yes.
You know
It looks
what I
like, you know,
mean?
it looks like Andy. Someone's like, you have prior experience as a cook, right? And you're like, absolutely. I absolutely do. And this is the thing that you
Make me your favorite
Yeah,
dish.
yeah.
Can you go back to the first one real
some
quick,
cheese
Kevin?
that's not melted, some onions that aren't cooked.
It looks like a 3D texture in a game. Like this
Yeah.
is like the food 3D texture.
But depending on how good that chili is, I bet it's fucking good.
I have it on good authority.
That looks
because the
really
first person
good.
I ever was told about the Slinger from was the one and only Patrick Pulasic Poe.
Oh.
And he used to house these things.
Oh,
either
hell yeah.
hungover or wasted, in the middle of the night. At the
I got a
diner
bunch
in
of chili
Chicago.
at home. We could try to make one.
You do have, I think you need beans.
Ah,
Crashes
that's
it
why I
in.
haven't eaten them. No
Yeah.
beans.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can follow Regional US Foods on Twitter to keep up with the next thing. And thank you, Pixelated Soul, for this game of Would You Eat This?
Boom, chicka, boom, boom, boom.
Would you fucking eat this?
Crushed it.
Would you fucking eat this? There you go.
I'd like to vote that when Andy doesn't have a song, he just defaults to the Seinfeld theme.
I got to learn the notes, but you were so right, Nick, in saying that I was just a smidge off from all of it.
Because you're like, boom.
I was so off from all of it.
Yep, that's it right there.
So close, so close.
So what are we doing, Greg?
We are going to ask you a question if you're ready for it.
Oh, I'd love it.
All right. This one, ladies and gentlemen, comes from the one, the only, Beezy Deezy,
Easy deasy.
who writes in KindaFunny.com/KFP, right? No, KF Podcast, just like you can. And says, what's it like having an actual weekend now that you will no longer work from home?
What?
What's like having an actual weekend?
Yeah, now that you are no longer work from home.
Oh, you mean like coming to work all week and then having the weekend be not the place that you spend every waking second of
Exactly.
your day? It's really nice.
Yeah.
It's really nice. It is very much an adjustment, though, because as you know, I live in a small place, and
Yeah.
my wife may or may not love me all the time. And so when the she loves
So
me.
weird. That's
But
crazy.
It's weird, but
Yeah.
I can, it's like I'm a lot. And so for
We
the
can all
first
admit that. Yeah,
for the
you're a
first
lot.
year of the pandemic, it was a lot to get used to, and then we got so close.
Yeah.
And so now the actual adjustment, real talk, is like I miss her constantly.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And I'm like, maybe don't text your wife like 10 times a day. Maybe like give her a little bit of space. But we're readjusting to that. But this last weekend, especially since it was like the first weekend since the stream, was like it was nice to be able to like get back to some level of like normalcy
For sure.
to what we were before. Yeah. So it is pretty cool.
Yeah, that was the thing Jen and I both said throughout Saturday and throughout Sunday. It was like, oh my God, this is so nice. And it was the idea, not even the work from home business, just the fact that we were trying to track it. We're like, this feels like it's the first weekend, like real weekend we've had since maybe May. You know what I mean? With just everything with the studio and the run up to it and just work in general, right? For both of us, me and Jen, right? Let alone Ben, let alone visitors, let alone commitments, things, birthdays, yada, yada, yada.
Farmer's market.
Farmer's market is like fun though, right? When you're not on a timetable. Ben's also down to 1 nap a day, so it's not like it usually is or it used to be where he wakes up, we got to feed him, we got to run to the farmer's market, we got to get things done, then we got to get back for his next nap or whatever. So it's like we've been able to do that. So it was like, we had just an amazing weekend of hanging out as a family and like, yeah, going to the farmer's market and then bringing him home and then going out to a really nice park and then going grocery shop and doing all this different stuff. But like mainly what I'm saying is not having the unbearable weight of something looming or I really need to be doing something else, right? Like I think even, you know, it's so cool to be able to talk about it on this level, but having God of War, Ragnarok, right? And also you all know the review embargo is a week from Thursday. Even having that where it's like, yes, theoretically, I should be, and I would love to play God of War, you know, until my eyes bleed.
It's that far away?
Yeah,
That's great.
So it's
How
like,
nice
you
is
can
that?
actually
That's great.
pace yourself. You do not need to sit there and marathon it because I got to do it on this Thursday, but I have all my normal work, so I'll see you guys later and yada, yada, yada.
As Garth Chesses, and then sending Andy a voicemail.
No, we stopped. The court cases. I've thought about it. I'm like, you know what? KF Court was such a great closing of the book on that bit that I don't need to. Now the robot, you
never
didn't
gonna
put
happen
any of the
again,
robot
for sure.
voices in there. Maybe they'll return to you one day.
Robot voice.
When I type out the message and I say them in the computer.
Oh, well, those were a lot. Yeah, those were much more recent. That they didn't make the YouTube cut.
I'm just saying, like that's perfect. Thank
Have
you.
you not seen these, Nick? It's Ben's like
It's some of my best work.
it's Ben's like speak and say or whatever they
trying to
are.
find one for you.
Yeah, you gotta find them.
When I type out the message to pretend like I'm in the computer.
Yeah, it's like A-N-D-Y. It's just that. You fucking
Wow,
psycho.
man, that's a special kind
Here
of
we go.
crazy.
I'll play-
I just
all
want
right.
everyone to know that.
Here we go. Here we
Hold
go.
on, maybe
Put
this
it up to
actually
your
might be. This
microphone.
might actually be me and Jen.
God, that's funny.
Yeah, no, this is when we were drunk.
Oh.
We were just sending you messages.
Gotcha. I'm sure if you just type like Andy with multiple Y's or just like
Great
YYY
call,
and
great
then
call,
you know
great call.
because a lot of people replied with that.
Oh God, that's
Yeah,
so funny.
somebody translates it. I know. Every
Somebody
time
was
that
like,
happens.
Andy, help him.
What is it about Andy that makes that perfect? Because if it was you or me, it wouldn't be as funny.
No, it's so
You know what I mean?
perfect. Yeah, it's,
It's because you know what it is. It's because he refuses to escalate. Whereas I would escalate immediately and it would just be bad. It would go bad, and you would just not care. You would not pay attention at
yeah, it
all.
would just
No,
happen.
Tim
with
would just
Andy,
roll
it
his
just
eyes.
bothers
Andy
him
replies
just
in the,
enough.
yeah, in the right way.
In the
that
right
just
way.
like incentivizes this.
This sounds
You
like.
bring this upon yourself, Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't be such a good sport and hang out with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Kevin, I'm gonna send this to you. We can hear it off the TV, right?
Oh, God.
Would you fucking
Yeah, I think
eat
so.
this?
Cool.
You want to harmonize with me?
Sure.
Would you fucking eat this?
Yeah.
Wow,
There you
tight,
go.
guys.
Really good. Really,
Very
really
nice.
good stuff right
We're the
there.
best around.
But yeah, just a great weekend of hanging out and not feeling like we had everything down and not being exhausted. I mean, I'm still tired, but like not like the last weekend where we went to some of the same parks and did some of the same stuff.
Where? Help. Help me.
There's been a handful of those. There's been a handful of those.
God, it's so scary. 'Cause, like, the robot thing, like, that's a little creepy. Like, spelling out "help me," that's always creepy. The repetition.
The fact that someone's getting their ass
yeah,
beat in the back.
exactly. It sounds like a dead body is being
Yeah,
dragged.
being thrown around a room.
Well, keep me on. This is when Jen's like, I'm gonna go do something. Watch Ben. I'm like, yeah, no problem.
Ben's out buying
and
cocaine in the parking lot. God, that's
It's like
funny.
that day that Ben was playing on the ground while we were doing his games cast. And so he has like this toy hammer that he was hitting on the ground. So Greg's talking, you just hear like, bah, 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 above him. And it's like, God, good for him.
You guys hear that? I'm like, oh, there's nothing I can do about it. Sorry. I'm not gonna go up there and tell him to be quiet.
That's
He discovered the hammer. That's all that matters.
Yep.
My weekend, very, very odd because it was football Sunday. I'm excited, right? I didn't really sleep a whole lot because of God of War. And I end up waking up early for the Cowboys game, watched that, took a nap, stayed up, played more God of War, took another nap, woke up like at 2 in the morning. And I was like, oh, this is bad. Like, this is not a good time to be awake right now. So then I took my Lexapro and I fell back asleep. And then I woke up today for the stream. So very, very odd. I feel like I was in bed asleep for approximately like 75% of my weekend.
Congratulations.
Is it depression? I don't know.
Well, congratulations.
Finding out with Scarpino. I think it's that. I just think you're probably just tired, man. I think all of us are just so tired from the last couple of weeks.
It's possible.
You know?
Man.
I think you're also, I'm like, over the weekend, I was trying to sleep a little bit more too, but I'm just so ramped up. Like, to your point, it's like, it's been a constant barrage of having to, like, kind of stay ready for whatever the next thing is coming around the corner, right? It's like, you know, it's like the scene, that one episode of 30 Rock where Alec Baldwin pays someone to jump out from anywhere and beat the shit out of him just to keep him sharp.
Yeah.
That's how I felt for the last, like, year. So now coming back from that is like, how do we reacclimate to a normal level of crazy?
Yeah, doing your normal job.
Yeah.
Doing your the normal amount of work rather than something insane. Yeah, that's definitely a
Yeah, somebody in the Twitch chat today while I was streaming Plague Tale was like, hey, Andy, are you all planning anything crazy for Halloween? I was like, no. Absolutely not.
No,
Yeah.
we're not. Yeah, to me, the weekend was amazing. It was my first actual weekend in at least half a year, and it felt like it. And I was like, oh, I think I'm going to get more of these soon. That's really, really cool.
Yeah.
But it's more the going home after work. It's like the day-to-day, like of last week coming in every day. And even like the week before, I was coming in a lot more. It is like, that is what is going to take a lot of reacclimating to, like, getting used to not being with Gia all day, not seeing the dogs all day. Like, there's just like a vibe of everything like changing. But then there's like this exciting moment of when I get to go home, and then it's like the dogs are all freaking out. I'm like, yeah, you do love me, you little fucker.
They missed you.
Things like that, you know. But like, it's weird to like have to think about like how it's gonna shift our lives and like what we do back to how it used to be, but with a twist because she's not going into the office every day. So it's like she's like it's totally optional whether or not she goes in. So she's gonna try to go in like once a week, but it's like that's such a weird world to get used to, you know.
Well, I'll tell you, I missed the. I didn't realize how much I was going to miss, like, the daily. Just get the coffee, get in the car, go on a podcast.
Oh, sure.
20, 30 minutes, just a little chill, little moment for yourself, just hanging out in the car ride. I miss that. It's nice to have that little reflective moment.
That was my biggest, quote unquote complaint, right? Because obviously work from home is amazing, and being home with Jen is amazing, and then even being with Lucy and having that whole thing when we were at home then. And then, of course, you add Ben to it, or, being able to be there through Jen's entire pregnancy, right, every day, and then be there through his first year of life every day. Like, that's all been a blessing. Yeah, I can never be thankful enough, even though it's not great circumstances for it. But, yeah, like, the problem for me, Nick, always was, right, like, until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you. All right, bye, guys. See you later. Okay, I'll get the tweet, da-da-da. And then as soon as the headset was off, I'd go upstairs because I wanted to help Jen with Ben, and then I was right into dad mode. But I never felt like I totally closed the book on work, Greg. And so then I'm starting dad Greg in a weird spot where I feel like I'm thinking, and I'm looking at Slack, but I'm still, you know what I mean? And it was like, like I've enjoyed the past week of, like it's a commute, sure, but it is. I called my mom and I called my dad and I did these, you know what I mean? Like I'm just doing all these different things that I normally don't have the time, and there's no usual space for me to do that. Listen to a podcast.
Yeah, it's a nice reset. It's a nice. There's a reason I think why we sort of evolved to have at least some semblance of a work week, like check in, 8 hours, check out, because I think it does help compartmentalize your life a little bit.
Sure,
which is good.
Yeah,
and I mean there were. I'm sure we all had those times where it was like I have not left this fucking house.
Yeah, for sure.
In 2 days. Like we're like I don't remember when I went outside.
Rookie, put those numbers up.
Well, thank God for like I just started refusing. Like I've never gotten Starbucks delivered to my place, and I refused to all throughout the pandemic. So I was like, this is my one, like my lifeline,
my reason to go.
The outside world. And again, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Shout out to the Starbucks workers by my place. They're the best human beings on the planet, man. They got me through most of the pandemic. Just being nice people. And understanding and like just being, good at their job. I'm like, you guys fucking rock.
Should you interview him?
I would love to. There's one dude that works there named Shatner.
Oh,
he's a badass.
That's a great name.
Badass. He's just a really nice guy.
Is it like the barista in Barry, who's just always?
Yes. Chad.
Yeah.
That guy's funny.
Did you ever watch Barry? Oh my god.
I told you about this. You remember the guy JT and Chad, the
Oh,
guys
yeah.
that try to get the Paul Walker? That guy's an actor now. He's in Barry, and he plays a barista. That there's a line around. You don't know why, but there's a line around the block for this guy, and it turns out he's everyone's therapist. He's just like doling out amazing
Just like-
life advice. Like, look, yeah, bro. look,
Maybe
dude.
you should just talk to him more. And he's like super stoner.
This is
inside. We're
really
like,
good. I
Wow,
was
thank
like,
you.
fuck, all right, man, cool.
Barry's great, dude. What a good
It
show.
got dark the last season.
Yeah, it was always dark.
We
Barry was always
loved
dark.
that's season 3, right?
Yeah.
We love seasons 1 and 2, and then we watched the premiere for season 3, and it just didn't hit the same, and we've never been
Me
back.
neither. And I never went back. And then Andy was like, "You should finish it." And finally, I finished it, and it's really good.
Okay.
It's really good.
It's also-
but this season's really hard to watch.
It's also only 30 minutes.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you
yeah,
just, so that's like, I think the easiest thing about it is like, I'm not committing an hour plus to
sure.
to see whether I'd like it or not. You know?
Cameron Kennedy. It's funny that you mentioned that. It's hard for me to watch Barry. It is. I just skip anytime I see Henry Winkler. I just skip.
Yeah.
Which is why I thought it was a good season.
What ruined Black Adam for you?
Oh God.
That was it.
Why you got to put him in? Why does he have to have a cameo in there and rule my life? That movie would have been like The Departed. It would have been perfect. It wasn't that one
God.
scene.
Tim, close us out. What do you got to
Just
say?
talking about this weekend and TV shows and things like that. Like part of the reason my weekend was as good and relaxing as it was is I got to partake in one of my favorite activities that I haven't been able to in the last
Reefer.
20 years.
Pickleball.
The Mole.
Ooh.
The television show The Mole. It's back, baby, in Netflix form. If you're unfamiliar with The Mole,
Oh, Joey's all about it.
in
right?
the early 2000s, the little show called Survivor came out. All right, changed the reality game show game forever. And then there was a bunch of copycat Me Too's, right,
Yeah.
popping up left and right. The best one of them was The Mole, where there's, let's just say, 10 different people. They're all competing. One of them
like Among Us.
is a mole. Exactly. They're on the inside, and they're trying to sabotage all the different games that they're playing. To every game that they play or win, there's more money added to the pot.
How quickly would
But-
Nick fuck up?
Dude,
the mole.
Dude,
like,
I was thinking about all of those. Yeah, no, it'd be so bad.
Am I
but
the mole? Maybe not.
Show is
Like Nick, it's
incredible.
episode 1. What the fuck are we gonna do?
And it's just great because the entire time, like throughout every episode, it's the same mole, and like they're just trying to get to the end, and the eliminations happen. There's a quiz at the end of it. And you have to answer 20 questions. Whoever answers the least amount right about who is the mole gets sent home, and it is so damn good. You're not a mole guy?
No, I never was. I never was a mole guy, yeah.
Hosted by Anderson Cooper, the original at least.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Have you read any like wiki articles about maybe a failed mole, like Nick was just mentioning? Like, what if they find out really fast? What do you do?
There was only 6 seasons. This is, I think, the 6th season. And I think 2 of them were like celebrity seasons. But it was a long time ago.
Celebrity
like,
Mole
I don't
sounds
think that there
real,
was
yeah.
enough seasons where that ended up happening. Like
Gotcha.
all the ones that happened, just like it kind of like worked out. But I mean, it's freaking so damn. It's very well done. It's really engaging, and like it's just such a fun thing that I love when Netflix is able to like fund projects that like worked back in the day, but now it's like, oh, it can work even more with modern sensibilities and like streaming platforms and stuff. But
And plus, the
really cool.
budgets are very low compared to narrative.
oh
No,
yeah,
for sure, yeah, that's why, yeah.
But I
it
mean,
goes
but
to
they go
reality.
all out. Like it is. I'm so impressed by the production value of like every challenge. Isn't just like, oh yeah, we're doing the thing. It's like they're doing the thing in the most extreme way possible.
It's why when a lot of people were questioning Nathan Fielder's the rehearsal, people were like, well, they don't got to pay actors. That's why he can do all these extravagant bits and pay for recreations of shit because there are no actors to pay.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
You're
Only
paying
place
like
the budget
appearance
goes.
fees or whatever the fuck,
Sure.
you know? So these reality shows, we're going to see more and more crop up because they are way cheaper
Well, I
to
mean,
make.
that's why they all cropped up to begin with.
Yeah,
way back
we
in the
already
day.
saw
We've
that.
lived through that. Yeah, that's already happened.
No, what I mean, like in the streaming age, that's why Warner is like nixing all of these like narrative type
Back row.
things, and
Oh,
Netflix is, saying no, thank you. We're not doing a whole lot more narrative content. Cartoons, no way.
Well, Nick and Tim, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Can we get the me and Andy shot, please? Andy, now you said something interesting over there. You mentioned pickleball. I took pickleball in PE, like most people did growing up, and then never thought about pickleball again. However, as you know, I have a 1-year-old named Ben, and we go to all manner of playgrounds now.
It's
and
exploding.
there's always a fucking tennis court there, and people are always playing pickleball now.
Yep.
What happened? Why did pickleball become so popular?
I have no idea. I feel like it's something that I didn't even realize they were playing pickleball until listening to an episode of the Dan Le Batard Show, and they're like pickleball's all over the place. Tom Brady bought a pickleball team. There's like celebrities buying into this shit. It's like, why? How? Where did this come from? And sure enough,
great clip art.
And sure enough, I went to go play basketball one day, and it was just like a sea of white people playing pickleball. And I was like, why is it only white people who give a shit about pickleball?
Yeah.
But I guess everybody knew each other.
I won't lie to you. I played it in high school or whatever, and I enjoyed it fine. And I see it happen. I'm like, man, I remember it. That seems like something fun to play because I'm a white guy.
Yeah.
And it was yesterday we parked at the playground and we got out, and one of the guys playing pickleball goes, "Sorry, pickleball parking only." And I went, "Really?" And he goes, "Nah." And I was like, "Oh man, I'm gonna come play pickleball." I'm like, "This damn kid though. I'll see you later." You know what I mean? Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Kinda Funny podcast. Each and every week, 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather around this table. Oh, thank you. Coming to talk to each other about whatever it is they want to talk about. If you want to talk with us, it's super simple. KindaFunny.com/KF podcast. You can write in with your questions, comments, concerns. We'll read them here on the show, and we'll all have a great time. If you want to support the show, go to Patreon.com/KindaFunny. On Patreon.com/KindaFunny, of course, you can watch us record the show live, just like Madeline, Melissa, and Cody all are. If you are watching live, thank you for your love and support. We can't do it without you. Remember, of course, you could also get the show ad-free. You can get 38 episodes of bonus content exclusively all on patreon.com/KindaFunny. However, if you have no bucks to toss our way, no big deal. Use the Epic Game code KindaFunny when you're on the Epic Game Store or playing something like Fortnite, Rocket League, or Rumbleverse on your platform of choice. And remember, you can get the show on YouTube.com/KindaFunny. You can get on podcast services. Sure, you have to listen to the ads, and you can't write in, you can't be a producer, but you have a good time. Right now, the chat is calling out brief again. You know what I mean? Fuck off. I said brief one time when I was trying to say beef. You know what I mean?
Nothing better than that good old-fashioned ground beef.
Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.